Hey y'all, hey, it is me again, and I know y'all missed me last week. I was on vacay, and I made an excuse because I didn't record, but guess what? I'm here today. So go ahead and get your cups because you need to get ready for this tea. Okay, so boom. I know I keep saying that I want to talk about holiness, but this thing popped up in my spirit and I wanted to talk about it. So a lot of you guys do not know how I came to be without my sister locks. I had sister locks for 10 and a half years. And for those who do not know, sister locks are a form of locks, not dreadful, but it's basically a pattern that was created by I think her name is Dr. Cornwell, and basically she wanted to give Black women a way to have natural hair and their hair to be able to grow. And so she did a patent on a certain way to be able to lock and retighten your hair. Brief synopsis. But I had sister locks for 10 and a half years. So right before I had Caleb, I had my best friend Christina. She went and got her hair locked up. And I just loved the way that her hair looked. The grid, how neat and tidy they were, and that they were smaller. Because my whole thing was with locks, I felt as if I couldn't do too much with it. Like I always got my hair done and you could do all these styles. But with sister locks, they're small enough to be able to do different types of styles. And also if I still wanted to add hair or make it longer, I could still get my hair braided. I was able to do crochet with my sister locks, all this and that. So back in April 21st, 2012, I got my hair locked up. So, but before I got my hair locked up, I did have always had issues with my hair. Different instances where my hair fell out. Even growing up, like always something going on with my hair and my scalp, but it wasn't that bad. It was just things like my mom allowing me to be able to do my hair. And I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was grown and my hair was falling out. Or most Black women are notorious for doing this when you get your hair braided and you want to cut the hair shorter so you don't have to, unravel the braids from the ends. You cut the thing too short. And so now you done gave yourself a haircut because you cut your hair too short. But yeah, I got a full weave, and at the top of my head, the weave was too tight, and when I took it out, all of the hair in that section came out. So I had this big bald spot. It was probably, 3 or 4 inches in diameter at the very top of my head. So for a long time, I had to wear wigs, and literally it was smooth to where the follicle was gone, smooth like a baby's bottom. So your girl was wearing wigs. And so I basically had to pray and oil my scalp for months. And then I started seeing that my hair was growing back. Please hold. I'm at work and my phone is ringing. Okay, back. I hate it when someone calls my phone and it's spam and they don't even answer. But anyways, my hair fell out. And so I went through a period of wearing wigs. And so with the wig wearing, I was cute, y'all. I have to show some pictures of your girl wearing some wigs, but I was cute. But, I think that was back in the early mid-2010s of wearing that. And so I wanted to get into my natural hair. So I basically cut all my hair off, started fresh. And so when I got the sister locks, I had about 3 inches of hair. And I went to the lady. It took about 10 hours. She did a really good job. it took about 10 hours for her to put them in. And I remember me and the lady and I didn't really vibe well. Like, I could just tell like something was off. And I remember my friend that got her hair done as well. She went to her for a little while and she said something was definitely off with the lady. Don't really know what was with that, but we were just like, oh yeah, that she's off. And I started doing my hair myself. So either I would do it, and then, or I would have my mom like do it. My mom was not certified at that time, but I would just have, do my hair. I would take like a Saturday and split my hair up, and I would just do it myself. When I got pregnant with Caleb, I didn't have the time anymore. It was very hard to do my hair. So I found someone in Woodbridge, Locks Forever, Miss Charlotte Van Horn. She was the best loctician. I loved everything about her. She was all about excellence and all in her shop and made the experience always a peaceful one. But I will say, there was like a very big transition when it came to my hair and my scalp. I noticed quickly on that my scalp was always itchy. I had big flakes. It was like scalp psoriasis, so I was always on like a medicated shampoo. And it was like every time I switched to shampoo, it would work for a little bit, but then it would go back to the original, very itchy. There was times where I had allergic reactions, big patches, but because my hair was in locks, I was able to cover up a lot of it. But it was still really, really bad. I'm trying to think about what else happened with my scalp. It was a lot going on, but my hair grew a lot. When I went through a certain period, it was just like all of a sudden my hair just started growing all the way down my back. But in 2018, that's when I joined Relentless and learning different things about, prophecy, being prophetic, dreams, all of that. And I loved my hair. I will say that men, even more than myself, men loved my hair. Like, I was my pull game was strong, y'all. Your girl was out here all over the place. I'm not going to say all over the place, but I had dudes left and right strictly because of my hair. They loved my hair. They loved how long it was, how healthy it looked, all the things. Even to the point where even if I said, one day I'll cut my hair, and they'd be like, really? Yeah, no, don't cut your hair. They loved my hair. So I will say, I'm not going to say it was unwanted attention. It was attention that I enjoyed, but I guess it was unneeded attention because a lot of those guys, they were not it, okay? So, yeah. So, but I always said that getting sisterlocks was the best decision that I made in my life, and that I had no plans on cutting it. And I will say that I felt as if my hair, or my identity, was in my hair. My hair made me. Like, I was the girl with the long hair. I was the girl with the sisterlocks. Like, that is how you described me. And I didn't have to do anything. I would wake up, oil my scalp, and go. Didn't have to do anything to my hair. I did dye it a couple times, but once I went black, it stayed black. Like, I loved that look on me. And so one day, no, I'm not gonna say one day, back it up. So as I was learning about, words of knowledge and prophetic calling and actually pulling on the Lord and hearing from him, life is lifing, doing all the things, but specifically God started speaking to me about a bunch of things in my life, like certain guys to cut off, deleting them, talking to me about other people, getting confirmation. I'm talking about to the point where I shouldn't know what I know. Like, when people say that, you're not hearing from the Lord, but that you're dealing with your own imagination. How is it your own imagination if whatever you dream or whatever God is saying to you comes to pass? And so I was having dreams about people that I'm not connected to. Like, I would know them, but I don't talk to them like that, to have a dream about them and to know specifically what is going on in their life. And so God was speaking to me in a way that, like, I wouldn't know I just wouldn't know these. So I would hit them up and be like, hey, I feel like the Lord is saying this, and I would pray with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you know that? Girl, I don't know. God be doing what he do. So, yes. So when God told me, my apostle was preaching one day, and he said something about cutting off this person I was talking to, or there was a guy who was interested in me. But there was another guy who would, like, every so often he would hit me up. And I knew I wasn't supposed to be talking to this man. But when Apostle said, hey, God wants to do more in your life, but there's something in there that you need to cut off, instantly I thought of this man. So I was just like, I'm going to cut him off. And then after I felt good. But then after a couple of days later, I was like, dang, I feel bad, because even though we had a relationship, but there was a friendship there. And so I should have still, just kept him cut off. But I was like, you know what? Let me tell him that this is what I'm doing. So I hit him up and, basically said X, Y, Z. He's like, I respect that, blah, blah, blah. So in my mind, I was using God like a magician. I'm going to just say this. God is not a magician. We don't do something for God with an expectation of God is just going to snap his fingers and give this to me. You should want more of God for God, not for the things. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of his righteousness, and everything else should be added to me. I don't want to say I want to seek God so I can get the other things. I want to seek God to get more of God and trust that God is going to be able to fulfill everything else in my life. But, okay, I just wanted to get that out the way. And that's Matthew 6:33, just for those who want to know that. But anyways, I was good. I was talking to this guy. He was a gentleman, never tried me, all the things. He read his Bible every day. Most of our talks was about the Lord. And so a piece of me was like, okay, this could be something. And so the other guy, where the Lord said, nah, and that was his name in my phone, by the way. The Lord said no, with Skull and Bones, just so I wouldn't be tempted to do anything. But I found myself in a funk one day, and the guy just so happened to hit me up. You see how the devil do? He knows you. So when I'm in my good times and the guy hit me up, I would just ignore that joint. But he would tell him to hit me up. I'm not gonna say he was telling. It just so happened that man he hit me up every time that I was in a funk. So one day I was like, you know what, I got time. And so he hit me up and I had a conversation with him. It was a very innocent conversation. It wasn't nothing different. But as soon as I had that conversation, the other guy was kind of sort of no longer interested. And so I'm like, dang, did I do that to myself? But anyways, because I knew I wasn't supposed to talk to him. God told me to cut this man off. So I talked to him. That happens, whatever. So I'm like, dang, God, did I do this to myself? And so, eventually I cut the guy off, for real, to where I blocked his number, blocked him all on social media. And he actually hit me up on another phone, because if somebody really is digging you, they gonna find a way. But he found a way to cuss me out on another number, I'll tell you that, because he was in his feelings. But anyways, we had a bishop come in one Wednesday, and it was an all-night prayer thing. And God had been talking to me all week about different people, confirming different things, all this and that, telling me all these things that would happen with other people. And so when we went, I had just got, well, it was on a Friday when we had the all-night prayer. But on Wednesday, my mom had just retied my hair. I'm talking about the head was laid. Hair long, flowing, beautiful. Just got it washed, all the things. That Friday, I go to church. We have all-night prayer, and the bishop is talking. She's talking about, God wants to give you the new. And I'm like, okay. She was talking about how the enemy has clothed you in unrighteousness to hide you. And she's saying all of these things. And I'm like, okay, like I'm with it. And one of the ladies at church, she has really, really short hair. And she walked by me and I wondered, I wonder how I would look with short hair. And I said, the devil? Ain't nobody trying to have short hair right now. I'm loving my hair because who about to cut this? Because mind you, my hair was down my back. It was past my butt crack. My hair was long. If I was going to cut it, it was going to be a trim. That's it. I was not about to cut my hair. So when the Lord said that, I said, Lord, what? And it's so crazy how God will speak to you about other people and you believe it because it has nothing to do with you. But as soon as he tells you about yourself and something that you need to do, you be like, what, God? Like, you question him. And so because God confirmed all week long with other people, I could not question. How is God right? And I'm hearing clearly all week long about other people. But when it came to me, I was like, oh yeah, I ain't hearing right. Nah, I couldn't even do that because he confirmed everything else. I was like, dang. But anyways, I go through like this temper tantrum in my head. And I'm like, okay, let me pray about this. That's something when we don't want to do something, we be like, let me pray about it. So I'm praying, we're all praying, but I'm praying. And the lady is saying all these things, and it has everything to do with me being clothed in unrighteousness. She also says God wants to do something new, a new thing in your life. And I was like, because I was trying to figure out what was the name of the hair studio that I got my hair done. So I hit my best friend up that got her hair done, and she's like, it was called New Day Lock Studio. So when I was trying to figure out, that's when the lady said, yeah, God wants to do a new thing. I'm like, okay, God. So, and then as I was praying about it, because when I said, let me pray about it, I was really trying to be like, God, you for real? So when I was praying about it, God showed me myself. Like, I cannot remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but God showed me something from 10.5 years ago of me walking into the studio. And he showed me what the lady was wearing. He showed me the room. He showed me, like, reminded me of the things that she was saying. And I saw that she had this shirt on, and it had a zodiac sign on it. And I remember thinking to myself, why would she have 69 on her shirt? Because that's nasty. But your girl don't know too much about zodiac signs and the symbolism. So it wasn't that it was 69. It was more so that it was a zodiac sign. So I was like, okay, God. And he showed me the room and the things that was in her room, like the statues and the canvases that she had in there. And she was very much into new agey things. And anyone who knows anything about artistry and about people doing the things, like when I cook, people say, oh my gosh, this is so good. I tried to make it. It doesn't taste like yours. Because when I cook, I pour love into my food. Period. So just knowing that about myself, whatever she was doing, she's pouring herself into her thing. She's pouring herself as she's doing hair. There's something that she loves to do. And the lady had issues. The lady was doing new agey things. And all of that is being poured into me. And I never told anybody this, but after I got my hair done, I threw up every single morning. Every morning. I would wake up, brush my teeth, and I would vomit. Didn't know why. When I found out about, the spirit realm and doing certain things, I was like, is that why I'm vomiting? Like, because I found myself eating in the spirit, but I was just like, I don't know. But that was clearly years later. I didn't know why I was vomiting when I woke up. I just knew every day it was the same thing. I would wake up, brush my teeth, I would vomit. And it wasn't like I ate anything. It was just like, and it was hard because like, it would hurt my throat because I didn't eat anything. It wasn't something that wasn't agreeing with me. It was just that I would vomit. And then I had the scalp issues. I had all of that. So I'm texting my homegirl. Like, let me get back to the story. I'm texting my homegirl. And I'm like, she was like, well, technically she only installed the ends. So you just got to trim your hair. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to be disobedient to what God is saying. I'm just going to, cut my hair. So I get home and I'm like having like a back and forth debate with God, temper tantrum as I'm driving home. Because at this point, it's midnight, past midnight. It was an all-night prayer. So I'm driving home. I can feel myself trying to hold back emotions as I go take a shower, wash my hair because I want to make sure my scalp is clean. And I take a little video of how long my hair is because we're going to remember this moment. Had these things for 10 and a half years. We are going to remember the moment that I cut my hair. So I cut my hair. Like started with the first one, cut it. And I could feel that like I'm holding back the tears. And I'm just like, dang, Lord. But you know what? I go ahead and I cut the rest. And I had about it was less than an inch. It had to be a couple centimeters of hair. And I had no new growth because I just got my hair retightened a few days before. So I'm like, okay, well, tomorrow. And I had no comb in sight. I have no hair products. I only have oils. I have no hair products, no comb, no brush, no nothing. Because I didn't need it. I had locks. Caleb had locks. No use for combs, okay? So I cut my hair. And I'm like, dang, how am I going to unravel this? So I put some conditioner in it to try to unravel the little bit of hair that I have. And it doesn't really unravel. So I'm like, okay, I am going to go to Walmart in the morning to get the things. And so the next morning, I hit up Roxy and I'm like, girl. And she looks at my hand. She's like, girl. I hit up some other girls. I'm like, girl. And they're like, girl, why you ain't talk to me? They thought I was going through a Britney Spears meltdown. And I'm like, nah, it was the Lord. And I explained to them. But I'm just like, I need to go to the store because I'm looking all kinds of crazy. So I put on some big old hoop earrings. I put on a hat. I was cute, try to be as cute as I could, looking bald-headed. Well, not even quite bald-headed. I'm looking like, what's that thing? Cindy? I don't know. The Rugrats doll, Angelica's doll. I was looking like her. But anyways, I go to the store, I get the things, and I'm trying to unravel my hair. Roxy comes over, and she does like 2. And she's like, girl, what you gonna do? Because this thing is hard. And I'm like, you know what? Am I being disobedient again, trying to keep my hair when I'm supposed to be starting fresh? So I take the clippers, and I just shave my head. I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But let me tell you something. Once I cut off all of my hair, I no longer threw up in the morning. As soon as I did it, no more vomiting in the morning. I slept like a baby. Like I was going through a period of hating to go to sleep. I slept like a baby. I no longer had scalp issues, no longer any more scalp psoriasis, none of that. And so me cutting my hair was a level of deliverance. I received some freedom when it came to cutting my hair. And it was something that I didn't want to do. And I debated with the Lord. I still had a tantrum in the car, whatever. But I did what I was supposed to do. And I received a level of freedom. I also experienced some, what's that? I dealt with low self-esteem because your girl was bald-headed. Like, literally bald-headed scallywag, and got no hair in the back. Bald-headed. Didn't have none type of hair. So I was wearing makeup every day, trying to be as girly as possible because I didn't have any hair and I didn't want to be mistaken as a man. I could get away with still being cute with long hair, but being bald headed, oh, no, sir, no, ma'am. Your girl was out here looking like, I'm not even gonna say I was looking like a man. I was looking like a woman, but I was looking like a crazy looking woman. So I went through like feeling inadequate, not feeling beautiful with my hair. And it wasn't like I could put anything. I wasn't about to cut my hair and then put a wig on. I wasn't about to do all that. I was going to wear my hair out. So there was that. And so God really helped me in dealing with inadequacy when it came to, me feeling beautiful and loving myself. Because Caleb was actually at his dad's house. So when he came back, he saw my hair was gone. And he was like, Mom, like what? Because he didn't know me without hair. I've always had sister locks since he was born. So the next day, Caleb actually asked if he himself could cut his hair. And I told him no. His hair was beautiful and we're keeping it. Caleb had locks for a couple of years. His hair was beautifully locked, okay? While I was working, Caleb come down and I see like this nub at the top of his hair. I'm like, what's that? He done cut a lock. So I'm like, okay, sir. So I told him, do not cut any more of your hair. I will cut it tomorrow and we will go straight to the barbershop. So I had to do research because your girl hates the barbershop. The barbershop is like one of the most manly men things ever. And everybody be looking at you like, I don't have time for it. But I was willing to go to the barbershop to appease my child. So the next day, I cut his hair. And let me roll this thing back. I missed the part. Caleb essentially said, Mommy, I want to cut my hair so we can grow it back together. Keep in mind of what he said. So we cut his hair the next day. I take him to the barbershop. He looking handsome. And then I also get like a little side part because I want a little femininity in my head since I'm bald headed. So, yeah. So when I cut my hair, I had the mindset of I'm cutting my hair to regrow it back to get sister locks. And now that my hair has some length on it, a piece of me doesn't want to get them again. Maybe micro locks, I don't know, but right now I want to enjoy the way that my hair grows out of my head. Enjoy my curls and my kinks and all of that. I've been looking crazy, and when I wake up, it does look like dry carpet sticking to my head, but all I need to do is spritz some water and, I'm good. But I wanted to get it to a point where I am content in my beauty without makeup. And I think I've done that, like, not comparing myself with others and all of those things. And I asked Caleb same thing because he said he wanted to grow his hair out. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm going to keep it cut. So he didn't even know that I wasn't going to get sister locks again. So it's so interesting how we both cut our hair and we both have the mindset of not going back to what we used to. That's a word right there, huh? That is a word like that. Once you make the decision in your mind to do the thing that you know that you're supposed to do, you cannot go back to it. You should not go back to it. You shouldn't want to go back to it. The word talks about how doing that is like a dog eating its vomit. Like, it's disgusting. And I'm not saying getting locks in general is disgusting, but for me, myself, I didn't want to go back to a place that I shouldn't have been in the first place. So being content in my beauty and, being free from not just being clothed in unrighteousness, not just not vomiting, but being free from comparison, being free from trying to hide myself behind my hair. And so, yes, there was a couple other things I want to talk about, but I'm at work and I'm not supposed to be even doing this right now. But I really wanted to give context on why your girl does not have sister locks anymore. I know, and I think a piece of me might have skipped some parts, but I gave y'all the nitty gritty. And so, yeah, I think that next time it is a possibility. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it. It is a possibility that I will talk on holiness, but I also wanted to talk on money because y'all saw what I put on my story the other day about money and about hitting up people. Oh, I got a lot of things to talk about. I need to write all of this stuff down because we're going to have a time on this thing, okay? And if you are listening on Monday, you will see me on the Christian Anything show. And I'm doing a guest appearance on that. So that is going to be exciting. So yes, guys, I will talk to y'all on next Monday. Bye-bye.